And
hey Jay, give me
yes, sir.
give me
All
one
right,
second. Looks like the live button didn't hit, so we're gonna start over. Is that all right? This is gonna
let's
be
go, man.
amazing, right? This
I'm
is
good with
amazing.
it.
I love it. So give me 1 second. We're gonna get this going. Yo, there we are. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys, but we're getting this stuff running. Rhino Vision show number 2. We're excited about what's going on today. And I just wanted to recap of where we were. What happened last week was an amazing interview with our CEO, Mr. Eric Antonio. Guys, it was just amazing stories and really showed us the power of perseverance through his entire lifespan and what he's been doing to where he's at now. And I'm excited for the show today. And I want to remind you guys that Rhino Vision is about stories that are going to help you. They're going to inspire you to continue your quest for success, right? You're going to take practical tips, right? And ideas of personal development and mindset, all of these strategies that you're going to be able to apply immediately, like right now in your business or in your life, that's going to help you on your quest for success. And, his stories were incredible last week, but the story that we're about to hear today, the stories that you're going to hear today from this interviewee, the gentleman that I'm about to bring on, I'm telling you is going to be incredible. You're going to hear the power of drive. You're going to hear the power of drive from this gentleman, right? All the way going through what he went through as a child, growing up, where he's at now. He is now, and I can bring this up. He is now a professional firefighter, right? And I say professional because this guy is out there all the time doing 16-hour, 20-hour days, helping and helping people stay alive and helping people with their situations, right? To me, he's one of my heroes just because he does that all the time. But then he's now going out and becoming financial agent with us, financial service agent with us, and he's going to help families in a different way. That's what I love about this gentleman's mindset. But he didn't get there just by a snap of the hand. Hey, I'm going to do this. What he went through required him to have drive. So please help me welcome from the islands of Hawaii, the Big Island Kona, Mr. Jay Kahee. Are you there, Jay?
I'm here. One more time. Let's go. Let's get it, Rhino. I am here. And I'm ready. Let's go, man.
That's great. That's great, man. I know we're excited about today. We've talked about it a lot, but I was excited when you accepted the request to come on Rhino Vision, because I got to tell you, your story is very, very impactful. Your story hits hard and it hits to the hearts, right? So we're going to share your story today, and I know it took a lot of drive within you to get to where you were, and we're going to hear some great stories today. So we're going to start off with this one, the hardest one, right? Is who was Jay Kahee as a child? Who was he growing up in Hawaii? You tell us.
Yeah, man, local boy, right? Right off the bat, as I was a 2-year-old, my biological parents kind of left. God bless them. They made the best decision for me and left me here with my family here, who raised me, my Kanaka family here. Was the biggest blessing of my life, man. I was raised as one of their own, no differences. They didn't treat me anything different. I was loved. I was cared for. But I knew I was different, right? And because of that, I saw out of a different set of eyes. Man, mom, dad, why do I look different? And that just gave me a different perspective I understood that these amazing people who were caring for me were given more than they ever should have for somebody that they didn't need to. And so at a very young age, I made it a point to show my appreciation to them. And the only thing I can do at the time was just to listen to them, just to listen to them, just to love them the way that they love me and love other people, because that's what they did. They helped people, they loved people. And, you know, growing up here in Hawaii, we're, you know, isolated on our own island. So, man, I was athletic. I was part entrepreneur as a kid. My great grandpa, who helped raise me as well, we would make emus, and emu is an underground oven, and we would make these Hawaiian delicacies like lau lau and kalua pig almost 2 to 3 times a month, which is a lot of work. And then whatever extra we had, we would go around the neighborhood and we would sell it to all the people in the neighborhood who wanted some of that stuff, because everybody loves that stuff here. And that was our spending money as kids. But as life went on, man, you know, I was athletic. I was a pothead. I was everything, you know, and that's just a part of growing up. That's just a part of growing up. But one thing that remained in my life was the importance of loving and respecting other people. That was my biggest thing growing up. That stuck with me to today.
You know, you talk about your family, your adoptive family, and who took you in. Can you share with us, Jay? Can you share with us how you got there in the first place? I mean, can you share the turbulation that you went through as a child?
Yeah. So my who I call dad, his name is James Kahee, and he had my older brother when him and my mom were 15 years old. They were very young. They didn't have jobs. They couldn't care for the kid. They did best they could, but the family kind of took over, and Jim's auntie adopted my older brother. My biological mom, you know, she was going through something. She ended up going to the mainland and got pregnant with me. Came home while she was pregnant, gave birth to me here, and Jim was there. Jim was at my birth. He loved her. He loved me, even though I wasn't his own. And he raised me as his own. And then my mom had my younger brother. Jim and my mom had my younger brother. So I have 2 brothers, one younger, one older. Got the same mom and dad. I got a different dad, but that's my dad. He raised me. Shortly after my younger brother was born, my biological mom, no love lost. You know, she did her thing, and she moved on, and she went and tried to make the best situation for her life. Again, she left me here, which was the biggest blessing for me. Initially a little sour, you know, kind of wondering like, man, why, what is it about me? You know, why didn't they want to stick around? Why didn't, you know, every kid should have their parents, you know, and the older I got, the more I just appreciated everything that Jim, my mom here, Linnell, or Maka, we call her, my great grandpa, Papa Joe, my auntie that adopted my older brother, Mommy Cookie, we called her, and then my grandma as well, Hannah. You know, but it takes a village to raise a kid that's not your own, right? To raise kids that's your own, it takes a bunch of people. When a kid's not your own, I didn't qualify for medical, dental, vision, any of the stuff that normal kids, I don't want to say normal, but you know, kids are afforded growing up. So it was real tough financially. But the way we was raised, we never acted, or I never knew we were poor. I never knew we were poor until I went to school and I saw the garage sale clothes that I had on. And then I looked at these kids with the brand name clothes, and then I was like, okay, I get it now. I get it. But because of the love that was in the family and that they showed me, and the fact that I understood it, it was really, really huge for me in my development as a person.
So, you know, that could be really, really tough. I mean, that's really tough what you went through. I mean, I can't imagine, you know, doing that, but really tough where you went through it. And you easily could have went the wrong way. You really could have went in a direction that would not put you where you are right now today. And let's praise God for that one. Thank you, for you choosing to. But what was it that kept you away from the bad path that got you stuck on the good path? What was it?
Um, it was really a group effort out of all the people in my life, all of my family, some of my friends. I still have some really good childhood friends. Um, God, my great grandpa made sure we went to church every day as kids. I mean, I can still remember him, with the Tres Brillante, the Tres Flowers gel part in my hair, and that, and his aftershave smell. And we're going to church, and we were steady in the church. We lived in the church, and God was always a part of my life. But just the love of this family, man. Another thing that I identified, as I became older and a little bit more mature, I identified that there's a lot of, like anywhere else, but here on the Big Island, there is a lot of meth addiction. There's a lot of bad stuff around. And the fact that I had exposure to that and seen how bad it can get for some people. I've seen uncles die, family members die, strung out. Um, not just meth, alcohol, and other things. My mommy Cookie, she passed away from lung cancer from cigarettes. And so I knew I in my life there were so many examples of a path that led to self-destruction and taking myself out pretty much, and I knew I didn't want to go down that path. But also just the support of my family and the love. They made sure that the best, they wanted the best for us. They showed us the path to achieve those results in our lives. And I kind of just went with it, man. I wanted to appreciate them as much as I can. So I listened to what they said, and God bless them. They turned out pretty good, if I must say so.
Yeah, I would agree on that. I would agree on that, man. So, going through what you're going through at this time and age, you're growing up, but it sounds like you had tremendous love from your family, right? And I believe that's one of the things that you exuberate to everybody out there, right? And you got now. You're in high school now. You graduated in high school. What's going through JKA's mind right now, coming out of high school?
Yeah, oh, my camera kind of lost out, but can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Right out of high school, it was really difficult because I wanted to go to college, but that's when it boiled down to my family again, my biological mom. It In order to go to college, your biological parents need to sign the FAFSA in order to get funding. And it was difficult because, I don't really know what my mom was going through at that time, but reaching out to her and trying to get her to sign the FAFSA proved difficult. And that put a damper on my college experience. So I was able to go up to Santa Monica College for about a semester and a half. And I played on a football team there, the Santa Monica Corsairs. And I got to experience life outside of the island and for a little bit. And it was around that time that my great grandpa, who had a large part in raising me, he was having some serious health issues and so I went home. Man. Family is everything, and I went home, and luckily I was able to spend a few months with him before he passed and really connect with him and man, try and absorb as much knowledge and love from that man before he went. So it was a little rocky right out of high school and in the beginning of my adulthood, and right after that I went into the workforce and I just put the rock to the grindstone, and I was just working for no reason but just working. Actually, I was working for benefits because I never had benefits my whole life, so I knew I needed benefits, so that's why I went to work. I had to fix my teeth. Doesn't matter how much you brush and floss your teeth. If you eat sugar all day and you got cavities and you don't go to the dentist and fill those cavities, man, so I had bad teeth and so I worked to fix my teeth. That was pretty much, it was rough.
So would you say that the drive started building up when you right out of high school after your grandfather passed away? you go out there, you go to work, right? And you're working for necessity, right? You just said it right now. You got to fix your teeth. You're working for necessity, right? What was your first job?
My first job was at a temp agency called Ultra Staffing. I would call every day and they would tell me, okay, you're going to this moving company today. Well, you're going to Helco today, electric company today. Well, you're going to go help this flooded out um, hotel that the rain came and flooded all of their rooms. You're going to go help and clean out, so that was my first job and that was amazing because it gave me so much experience in so many different fields of work and what people experience out there day to day when they go to work, go to their jobs, man. It was a blessing in disguise now that I look back on it.
I had a chance to spend some time with you, right? We had a retreat, we had a training, and we had some time to spend, overnight, stuck in an Airbnb where the best conversations come out of, right? How the heck did you get into UFC? What was that about? Where does that fit in your timeline right now? Out of college, your grandfather just passed away. You're working to fix your teeth. Where did UFC come in?
So my dad, Jim, they never kept anything from me. Like I said, I knew I was different. They told me, my mom, my dad, they told me I had family out there. So from a young age, he knew I would want to go out and meet this family because again, family is everything. And just because I'm not my biological parents aren't in a part of my life. Hey, I got a grandma, I got grandpas, I got cousins, aunties, and I wanted to go and meet them. They're in California, in Milwaukee. They were up there, and I wanted to go. So he wanted to make sure I could defend myself. And another ulterior reason was I was kind of a rascal kid. Here in Hawaii, we call it kolohe, right? I was kind of not the best. I listened to them, but when I went to school, I was a rascal. I had AD. I got diagnosed with ADD in about the third or fourth grade. So part of that was to put me. Their instruction was to put me into something that I was able to get that energy out. So Jim got me into Taekwondo for that double reason. And I just loved it. I just excelled. And within a few years, I had the opportunity of getting my black belt, which is faster than most people take to get their black belt. But because I poured into it, the same way that I attack life, I was like that back then. I showed up half an hour early. I left a half an hour late. And this was at, 10 years old, and I just I just loved it. Got my black belt. Nobody knew because that was part of the teachings of old martial arts. You're humble, your humility, discipline, self-discipline, respect. I wasn't out there saying, hey, I'm a black belt. No, it wasn't about that. And then I kickboxed in high school for a little bit. And then when I came back home, I actually saw one of my best friends get into a kickboxing match. And I was already with my girlfriend, who's my wife now. And I looked, and she didn't know that I was, a black belt in Taekwondo. And I looked at her and I said, and he looked like he was having the time of his life, fighting, competing in the ring, right? And maybe some weird thinking, but I looked at her and I said, I want to do that. And she's like, what? And I was like, no, I want to do that. I think I can. And so I got into it. I went almost 30 fights straight without a loss. I got 2 different belts in different weight classes, and then transitioned over to MMA. And I was training with, a hometown hero, BJ Penn, here in Hilo. And we trained together with all of the other crew there for 6-7 years. And just an amazing time learning from such world-class athletes and some really, really good people. And yeah, man, just however it happened. I was just in love with the physicality, with the sports, with the camaraderie, with everything. And like I said, the same way I attacked Taekwondo, I also was playing football. The same way I attacked those sports, I attacked this sport as well. And because of that dedication, I just excelled,
So, I hear it, and I hear it in all your stories that you're talking about. It's that drive, right? When did you notice, or did you have to personal develop yourself to have that drive? You're telling me at 10 years old, you already had that drive where you were going to be, 30 minutes early and the last one to leave. And I mean, how did that come about? Is that was that given to you by maybe a mentor, maybe your father, maybe your grandfather? Where did that drive come from?
I never thought about that one, but absolutely everything you just said. My great grandpa, again, we went through some really hard work. Like I mentioned, making those emus, they're hard work, especially for young kids. And so I wasn't afraid of hard work. That was part of life. That's what I knew. Hey, I got to work hard at everything I do. And I think that just carried over. I would see how hard my family would work. I would be lying on the couch in the living room, crying myself, just like almost a whole day because I've had a toothache that floored me. Again, I didn't have any benefits growing up, and I would half overdose on Tylenol and ibuprofen just to make this pain go away, gargle ice water. And to see the love that they poured into me, they did everything they could to scrape up money, work their butts off, to make sure that I could get taken care of, and to see their drive. And again, just the amount that they put out for me, like I said, I can only repay them back by working hard, to do the things that they asked me to do and do it right the first time. And I think that just carried over into my personality and the way I attack life.
Yeah, because I see it now, everything that you're doing, even with us here at Exertus, but just in your dedication that you have. Obviously, we're going to get to how you became a firefighter, but you're a firefighter, man. You're out there, and your dedication to helping others. I mean, that's got to stem from everything you went through as a child. This village that helped you, that poured all this love into you, and your drive to make them proud, or basically to show them that it was worth it for them to struggle because of you, maybe, or with you, but you made it worth it for them to see where you're at. And that drive, man, that's something sometimes that we can't teach. That's something that lessons that come from the man upstairs, or from our experience, or our trials and tribulations. That's what it comes down to. And to hear that you got that, and what you've used it now for is amazing. I remember one time we were talking, and you had said, "You know what, Joe, I just want to make sure that they know I appreciated everything they did for me. So the only way I could do that is to work like crazy to show them that I appreciate them." And that's something you don't hear every day, man. So kudos to you on that, brother. Next question is, you're an MMA fighter. You're 35-0, right? What was your MMA name?
My MMA name was Excalibur.
Excalibur.
And funny story, my coach, my kickboxing coach, the late Walter Carvalho, amazing man, amazing individual. He had a lot to do with the shaping of my personality as well. He was like that coach from Rocky. Like, he was that guy. Like, he was literally that guy. I love this man to death, man. And unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But yeah, man, just the input from everybody to help me, to shape me into this man, is I made an acronym on the spot, because I love acronyms, right? And you started this thing out with drive, and you didn't tell me any questions, right? You didn't tell me any questions or let me know what's going to be on here. So I got an acronym for drive for you, Joe. Develop reasons to instill value every day. Yeah, I love it. And that's pretty much what it is. I turn these words into what it is, for me, what it means to me. My family, my great grandpa, my dad, what we did was we helped people. How did we get help to pay for my dentist bill, for do these things? We would help people free of charge, out of love. And in return, they would do things for us. Might not have been monetary values, but do things for us that where we didn't need to spend money. And then that money would go to take care of me. And that love of people, even though you absolutely need, you still not out there asking and working for money, but you're working to give value to people. You're working to empower people, to help people accomplish things in their life. And then you get things to happen in your life because of it.
Man, that's incredible. I mean, that I'm right now I'm blown away, just thinking about that because, too many times people do things for monetary value, like to get back, right? They do things because they expect something back. And for you to be taught and to have that from the beginning that you're doing things to bring value to people, that's incredible, man. I mean, even now with what we're doing with Rhino Vision, that's the whole point, is to bring value and empower people through our stories. And man, what you're doing right now with this one is it's incredible. I mean, just the drive and the acronym you came up with, right? Develop reasons to instill value every day. Holy smokes, you know? And you are the acronym maker for us. We know that you're always going to come up with one, right?
Yeah.
So you are now an MMA Excalibur, right? Excalibur. And the reason why I laugh is because Excalibur was a movie back in the day, King Arthur, all that stuff. One of my favorites, right? And then when I heard that was your name, I was like, oh, we are meant to be partners, brother. We are meant to be, in the same world together, right? But one of my things is your MMA. You come out of that, right? How did you come out of that and go into your profession right now? How did that happen?
Oh man, that was just the evolution of wanting to be better. I went from that temp agency to a carpet warehouse to Walmart to Home Depot, and then about that time, I was doing great in MMA. It was definitely I had a successful career and everything. My wife and I got pregnant, and at that moment, it wasn't about me no more. I knew that. I knew what my parents and my family went through to raise me. I was well aware of it. So I knew that it wasn't about me now. The things that make me happy, the things that my ambition, to some degree, I got to put that on the side because now I got a mouth to feed. I got a person to take care of. I got a wife to take care of. I got to provide as the man, as the head of the household. I got to provide. So buckled down and did what I needed to do and got into the fire department as the next step of a better job, a better opportunity, and that love of helping people is really what pushed me there. Really what, and here locally, fire department is one of the best jobs for a local boy here, and I would imagine, in many places, but here it's one of the best jobs. And to be qualified for that and to be able to get into it because my lifestyle, my mindset didn't, it prevented me from getting in trouble, DUIs and drug arrests and doing this stuff that other people were doing my age were doing, which disqualified them for that because of the love of my family, my upbringing, the way my mind worked. I didn't go through those issues, so it was easy for me to qualify and live out my dream as someone who just goes out to help people, flat out.
So you're pregnant, right? Not you, your wife, but you guys are pregnant. You're thinking, man, I experienced everything. And you say, I got to focus on now being the man of the household. And, I have a mouth to feed. That's incredible. Those are thoughts, Jay, that we don't hear a lot from the younger generations or the people that are in that situation, right? And for you to say that just tells me about your family without even meeting your family, right? That just speaks volumes of that, and that's what we thrive to do with our legacy, right? I want our kids to feel that what their actions do and how they do things speaks to the legacy of the Rhino and Blanca and everything that we've done, right? I mean, that's our goal, and you're like, I just want to say, you're like a testimonial to that. I mean, you're Grandpa Joe, God rest his soul, and your mama Cookie and your dad Jim right now. I mean, man, they got to be so I want to say inspired, but like, wow, we look what we helped create. You got to have that satisfaction of where you're at. So you went through all of those different jobs. You got into the fire academy. How was it when you got into the fire academy? How was it for you and your wife? Was that like one of those moments that was like a defining step for you guys?
Um, I think we were more focused on our kid and providing, and we had dreams at the time of getting our own home close to our family that we can spend time with them on a regular basis because of our proximity. And but you know, for a local boy, absolutely, people know, and yeah, it's definitely one of those things that they're like, oh, you heard what happened to Jay. You got into the fire department, you know, and but I didn't let that get to my head. The fire department itself, it was fun. We had a 1 year academy, and here on our island, out of our whole state, our island is the only one that is both fire and EMS based. So 6 months went to training to be a firefighter. 6 months went to training to be an EMT. There was a really rigorous physical portion about it, but it was really challenging for my wife because I was gone. I was when I come home, I'm studying. It's almost like I'm in a cram course, a college course for 1 whole year. When I come home, I try and contribute the best that I can, but I gotta study. I gotta do these things. And so my wife, I just, you know, nothing I do would be possible without my wife. She is the backbone of our family. She's the glue. She is everything. And it I can definitely see it was very challenging for her. But the opportunity that was presented and the role that I played in going and becoming a firefighter and then eventually a paramedic just help secure our family a bit more.
That's incredible, man. And you're a paramedic, which is a big part of everything that happens out there, like every day on those calls, right? And I know why you said, "Hey, don't worry, I got your back." When you came to San Jose to meet us, and you're like, "Number one, I'm a MMA fighter, so I got you." And then on the other side, I'm an EMT, so I got you there. So that's pretty good. So, I gotta ask you, man. You know, as much as your mindset is powerful and what you're doing, it's got to be tough to be an EMT out there, just in life in general. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and how that is when you're out there for the community?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, the job comes with a 24-hour schedule. So I'm gone from home for 24 hours at a time. So recruit class never stopped for my wife. I'm still gone a day at a time. And in fact, just last week, I was gone for almost 4 entire days, you know, so that is a challenge in itself. But what we deal with on a regular basis, man, we deal with the worst. We deal with everything that you see in the news. That's us on scene, picking these people up, you know, sometimes in pieces, sometimes deceased, sometimes they're alive, sometimes I deliver babies, sometimes I'm doing CPR, sometimes I'm praying with someone as they take their last breath. It's it takes a special person to just go through that. And I'm not trying to pump my thing, you know, but it it takes a lot. And my wife, again, is my rock, and she's also a emergency room technician at the Hilo ER, so she understands what we go through because she sees the same thing. Basically, all of these patients I take to her, and she deals with them at the hospital. And to have her is huge, man. Without her, you know, again, I probably wouldn't be as level-headed. You know, I wouldn't have the sense of clarity and purpose and the ability to chase my dreams, our dream, if it wasn't for her.
I think that's part of your drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be her. If you're my hero, she's my superhero.
Absolutely, she's mine as well.
Right? And that's the way it breaks down. Always it's just like my wife. I'm only as good as she helps me to be, and sometimes she really lifts me up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right before this, she's sitting here pumping me up. Pumping me up. You're gonna do this. You're gonna bet. I love it. Those are the things that we need.
Yeah.
But you're right. It does take a special person to do that, man. And that special person was developed way back when you were 9, 8, 10 years old, when you were working with your grandfather, doing things to give value, not to get value. Those are the things. I mean, it's obvious to see, and anybody watching this right now can see that what you went through in life, has gotten you to the point where now, when you can do those things with everybody you see out there in the community, when you got a call or something, man, God put you in the right place at the right time, I believe, because we need that. We need that. I can't imagine, how many last breaths you help pray with. It's a rough idea, but I know that you have a record, right? Not to get emotional, but you have a record of babies that you've delivered, right? Bringing people into the life, right? Bringing babies to life, into the world. How many have you delivered, Jay?
Yeah, I delivered 3, and for in paramedic wise, we don't deliver a lot.
Right,
Um,
right.
a lot of times, depending on our proximity to the hospital, we're there, and then they deliver them in the ER or in the hospital. But yeah, I got 3 that I was able to deliver, and yeah, that's a lot for a paramedic.
That's a lot. That's why I say it's a record, right? It's a
Oh yeah,
record.
it's special, man. It's special to hold a newborn baby, your first breath, and then you be able to give them to the mom, and you can take, it's a special moment, and to be able to share that with the family, with the mom and the baby, man. Those are the calls that makes all the bad things worth it. Those ones right there. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, firefighter, EMT, you're out there 24/7 job. Now you're part of a great company, right? Exertus Nation, right? And you've always been drawn to the economical side of everything, the economics, the I guess you could say the power of the finances, right? And from what I understand, you've been always dabbling and looking into that. How did your transition, or how did you add? Because I know you added to what you're doing. How did you add Exertus to your life when it came time to do that?
Yeah, like as I mentioned, because of my upbringing, because we were so strapped financially, because we are so challenged financially, I knew money was an important thing. And people say money isn't everything. Man, it is important. It is definitely important in life. Everything you need to just survive takes money. And so, like anything in life, if you spend enough time learning about it, practicing what you learn, like applying what you learn, you're going to get good at it, and you're going to be able to start making moves that most people don't make. And so when we were pregnant at that time, my wife and I said, hey, we need to do certain things in order to get that dream. We need to control our finances. We need to pay off our credit card bills. We need to get a good running car, maybe 2. We need to get that home. We knew that we had things that needed to be accomplished for our family, and how challenging the Hawaiian economy is here. So we started with budgeting and paying off our debt. We were able to do that. We saved up money. We got our credit score so high, and we saved money that we were able to purchase a home at the end of 2009. During the financial crisis, the housing bubble popped, and banks weren't lending money. But because we were so attractive to banks, we were able to purchase a home, and it was out of town, 25 minutes out of town. Lived in that home for about 25 years. We were able to sell it, get about 100,000 profit, buy the land that we're on now, and I was able to owner build my home for me. And so just from that point on, understanding finances on that, a little bit more than the ordinary guy, that helped. And then being in a fire department as a paramedic, I go to all of these calls where we show up at the scene, and someone is gone, and his family is standing around him. And I'm talking about one particular call. The wife was kind of looking there, and she was looking a little different, and she was grieving him, but you knew she was thinking about something. And so I asked her, Auntie, we're here for you too, not just your husband. We're here for you. And she said, you know what, boy, I don't know how we're going to live now. Uncle was the only one worked. I'm disabled. My kids is in the intermediate high school. Nobody can get money. We're renting this house. We can probably be on the street in a matter of a month. And I'm like, whoa. She's so, I mean, it just rocked me to my core. That these are the problems that people face. I was in my own world doing my thing, but just exposure to that. And it took me years of seeing this over and over and over, and then finally getting to that one call and having it all hit me at one time. And I knew that just in my heart, I knew that I had information that could help people. So I started helping people. I started going out, holding town hall events called Kanakonomics, and we would teach people basic finances, budgeting. They say they don't teach that in school. You're right. You're right. They don't. But what are you going to do about it? Right? You're going to go out and learn, or I'm going to teach you. Right? So me and a group of my close friends, we got together. We put on these Kanakonomics, and during that process is when I learned about the power of life insurance. I knew that I wanted my family protected, just in case that happened to me. What happened to that uncle happened to me. I wanted to make sure my family could afford to remain in this house that we worked our entire lives for. And so I started to look into certain financial strategies. And one of the most powerful strategies was the be your own bank strategy, and how it just exploded my mind and was like, holy smokes, everything that I knew is half truths. It's not completely true. Everything I knew is needs to be adjusted. So I had to unlearn some things. I had to relearn what is actually available out there. And the one company, and I was never in a financial services company prior to that. The one company, after looking around, that met the goals, that met the culture that I was looking for, that really exuded value, that really led as a company with their heart, was Exertis. And with their culture, faith, family, finance, fun, putting God first was one of the most important things for me. And the fact that we actually do more than just say it is everything for me. And again, just Exertis embodied everything that I wanted to do in the realm of helping people.
Wow, that was incredible. You know, it just seems like a fit. You know, we always talk about Exertis being a place that people call home. You know, and it's because when we've seen Exertis, it's all about the heart, right? And that's why it attracts people like yourself. You're a professional firefighter EMT, right? And you never stop giving. You're giving of your heart, you're giving of your brain. But now, because you learned something and you have other strategies and you want to uplift your community out there for the challenges that Hawaii has out there, right? Economically, it's like you're nonstop, man. And I gotta say, that just speaks so much volume of who you are and your character. And we're starting to see that a lot in your social media. You know, you've been posting, you have certain days that have certain meanings, you have certain and I'm sitting here thinking this guy has a 24/7 job. You know, he's out there helping families protect their families, but he still has the time to be on there. That's dedication. That's drive. So tell me a little bit about your purpose of your social media and how you're doing things.
Yeah. So what I've come to understand after my initial introduction to social media, people use it as a platform to complain, to moan, to grumble, to say all the bad things, just like the news. Everything is bad. Everybody attracted to bad. Do you understand that social media is the most powerful connective tool in the world? The invention of social media, internet, first of all, and then into social media, it boggles my mind how connected we are now, right? So I wanted to then be a force of good. There's everybody that's complaining about everything on social media. It's such a negative space to be. And if you let your mind be consumed by negativity, you're just going to be stuck in that loop. So I want to be a positive voice on social media. So every day except Saturdays, I come up with a positive message to share. Mindset Mondays, Tuesdays thoughts, Wellness Wednesday, Teach Me Something Thursday, Fearless Friday, and then Soul Check Sunday, which embodies all the important principles that I think we need to take control of in order to have a good life, right? Faith, drive, mindset, purpose, just random thoughts that you have that just help you push yourself forward, health. And then just the idea of excluding fear from everything that you're doing. I wanted social media to be a place where people can come to my page and feel uplifted and empowered. Also, you heard all the things that I've done. I've done other things too. You heard all the things that I've done in my life. People here, we see each other on a regular basis, right? So people know me as the football player, as the pothead, as the MMA fighter, as the guy who worked at Home Depot, as the firefighter. But now I'm moving into this realm of personal finance, and people don't necessarily see me as that financial professional. So in the things that I post, I share with them financial tips, clues, stuff that to let them know that I'm more than just somebody saying stuff just for the sake of saying it, that the stuff that I'm telling you, I've applied to my life and it's made a world of difference. And if you need help, I can help you without charging you anything. I want to help my community. I want to help people, whoever's willing to listen. The fact that I'm trying is all the payment I need. If you honor me by listening and then applying what we go over and we talk about, that's everything for me. So I wanted to use social media to change the game for the people that pay attention to me.
That's incredible, man. That's a great message. It's a reason why, Rhino Vision is there. It's for that community. That's why you're here. That's why you're guest number 2. That's why we have Jay Kahee on this call, for that exact reason. But to get there where you're at, to get what you were doing, to get the mindset that you're doing, the drive and the purpose, right? And when we come up with the purpose, I love the book of the month that we're reading right now, which is The One Thing, right? It has the 3 P's, right? Purpose, right? Priority, right? And productivity, right? And for me, I think of, okay, what's your purpose? Well, what is the goal? What's the outcome? What is the end result that you want? What's the purpose of what's driving you, right? Priority is, what are the actions that you have to prioritize and do first so that you get the productivity of the purpose, right? That's exactly the 3 P's. Now, you're doing that right now. You have a purpose, right? And you have your priorities that are bringing you the productivity, which is the people that are turning around and going, yes, Jay, I want to sit with you, right? Mm-hmm. But to get there, you had to personally develop. How important was and still is personal development in your quest for your success and where you're going?
Oh, that's everything. That's literally the best investment you will ever do in your life, is to work on this. To work on this, like mindset. That's why I start off the week, Mondays, Mindset Monday, to set the pace for the week. Personal development is everything. If you're going to invest in anything, you got spare money right now, and you say, I want to invest in something that will give me the most benefit, the most profit, the most value. Invest in this right here. The more you grow this, the more you will grow your outside world, right? One of the top finance people in the world is Robert Kiyosaki, right? Robert Kiyosaki is a native of Hilo, right here where I live and where I'm from. Robert Kiyosaki is from Hilo, but the people in Hilo, they're not even listening. I'm not going to say all of them. I'm not going to group everybody into them, but it's obvious that so much people are not listening. This guy is giving us the recipe book on how to be successful. But aside from him, there's so much great books. This was last year's book, last month's book of the month. I've got so much books on my audiobooks. I don't just read the book of the month. I'm up to about 4 books every month that I'm listening to or I'm reading. And I listen and read it multiple times, not to mention the Bible, right? I start every morning with the Bible. Everything depends on your development, on your personal development. Your exterior world will never surpass your growth here, right?
That's incredible, where you're standing with that, because personal development is such a big part of our company, our agency. We really say that we're a personal development company with financial services attached to it, right?
Absolutely.
And to have the right mindset of where we're going, and your mindset right now, and I don't know if any of our viewers can feel it, but I can feel it. I just feel this drive from you, right? To not only, it's not about being successful, but it's about accomplishing the things that you need to accomplish for your family, for your beautiful daughters, for your wife, for all your extended family, and then to really get to the level where you're accomplishing things for the community and the people around there that are listening. And in order for you to be able to do that, personal development has got to be constant, right? And you say Monday, you start off with Mindset Mondays, right? And one of the things I love about the Rhino mindset is it puts you in a state of attitude, right? It's an attitude. Rhino mindset is an attitude. I don't really run down and run through walls and do all that good stuff, right? But I kind of have my challenge walls, my mindset walls, that no matter what, I'm going to charge and keep charging. And like the book Rhinoceros Success by Scott Alexander always says, damn the torpedoes, right? Damn the torpedo spirits, right? They can hit me, they can knock me down, they can do anything, but I'm going to get back up to do what I need to do, right? That mindset is very powerful, very powerful. So would you say right now your mindset and drive, what would you say your biggest focus is for your mindset right now?
One of the guys that I connected with recently on social media, on Instagram, this guy's handle is Resonate, Inspire, Positivity, and he put out a post. And last year, so his post was, "What's your one word of the year?" Last year, my word was intentional. To be intentional, right? About the things that I'm doing, and that morphed to intent in all, right? And you break down the word intentional to from just being intentional in one thing to now being intentional in everything that you do. This year's word, I just came up with it just yesterday. In fact, I had to think about it because my mind is on a different. I grew a year, right? Every day I grew another level. So now I'm on a different path. And my word for this year is engage. Now that I know what I know, now that I have the connections with the people that I have, like you, Rhino, now that I have things in my life that are just set up for me to now go out and be of value to my community, the only thing that I need to do is engage that community, to engage people in my life, to engage people on social media. If I can do that, I know that the value that I've built in myself will come across to them, and they're going to leave a better person. And I don't want to sound like that person, but I am confident that I have enough value with what I've gone through, with my life, with my personal development, with my wife behind me and God behind me. I know that I have enough value to go out and improve people's lives. And if I don't do that, I just feel like a bad guy. I just feel like a bad guy. That's me. That's my heart. That's my drive. That's my ambition, is to help people. I need to engage with them in order to do it.
That's incredible. That's why, it's like you're reading my affirmations, man. I
Great
tell
minds
you,
think alike, man.
great minds think alike. Exactly. And that's what I believe every day. That we got to get out there and make a change. I always say, be the change, be the light, right? Be the light. Give someone hope, be the hope, right? That's what we need to do is focus. If we have more people like you and I, Jay, to go out there and do what we do, this world will be a better place, right? There's light at the end of the tunnel. The future is bright, right? It's how we take it. It's how we mindset in it, right? It's how we take our mindset and move forward in it. And that's incredible. So, Jay, we're closing down. It's been flying by right now. But can you give us 5 tips, right, 5 tips for personal development and mindset, right? Because of your drive. Give us 5 tips that people could use right now and apply every single day.
Yeah. So again, start with you. Start with investing in yourself. Don't pick stocks. Don't pick cryptocurrency. Don't pick NFTs. Start with you. Life is a risk. The more you educate yourself, you eliminate that risk. You lessen it, right? Um, be of value. What can you do to help somebody's life? What can you do to help your kid be better than they are right now? How can you support your kid, right? Be of value. Compassion and empathy, or in other words, love or aloha. I believe aloha can save the world. Aloha is a never-ending love, right? Just a love for everybody and everything. Be compassionate to people. Be empathetic to people. Think about what they're going through. If you're able to understand their difficulties in life, nobody knew what I was going through growing up. Only I did. There was people that called me the N-word growing up. There was people that made fun of me because I was actually short. And then I had a growth spurt. Now I'm over 6 feet and they don't mess with me no more. But they don't know what I was going through at that time. They don't know the toothaches I went through. They don't know my mom died when I was in 10th grade. They didn't know that. But if we're able to go out and put ourselves in other people's shoes and lead with our heart, we're going to go out and make some really big changes in this world, right? Know your limits. We go out and we think that I can do anything I want. You absolutely can. In time, you have limits to what you can do. And in that book, the one thing, you have a ceiling of achievement in every level of your life, right? Meaning that your mindset, your education, your occupation, everything you're doing allows you to only reach a certain limit. Once you understand that limit, and an acronym for limit, right? Levels I must increase to succeed. Once you know that limit, as you said, Joe, you can't increase what you don't measure. Once you know that limit, you're now able to find ways to surpass that limit and become better, right? Love God. Over this past year and a half, especially, I made a real intentional move to increase my relationship with God. And all I can say is my life is exponentially better because of it. I just had a live. I made a live right before this, and it's like my wife and I are falling in love all over again, right? My kids are happy, they're healthy. Our house, but everything that we have, I see it's a blessing. Yes, we put in the work. God put the opportunities and the hardships so that we develop to become the person in order to attain the things we did, right? He doesn't, when you ask for blessings, when you ask for a certain thing, God doesn't say, okay, here it is. I'm God Almighty. Here it is. No, he says, what he does is he puts situations, he put people in your lives that force you to overcome obstacles, that force you to learn from this person, to become that person, to receive that blessing, right? Love God. Man, I mean, 5. I can stop at 5, but man, just so much, man, so much. And Rhino, before we close up, I just want to say, man, you're truly an inspiration to me, and my life, and my kids hear you, because I'm always on calls with you. They hear you. They know who you are. My daughter, she's when we pray at night, she prays, thank you for Exertus. Thank you for BYOB. And God bless 770X and Uncle Rhino. And I'm not even I'm not even lying, man. You are a blessing to so many people. And believe me when I'm saying I'm humbled. It's a true honor to be on this call with you today. And I just want to thank you for giving me the honor. There's so much amazing people in our company that are doing downright amazing things, helping people. The fact that you honored me with this is truly humbling, man. So thank you.
Well, it's well deserved, Jay. I mean, this is something when you see the light, you see the person becoming the light. It's like you have to get out there and you have to put them in front of people. so more people can hear. And if we can get you in front of more and more people so they hear your story, man, it's going to be amazing, the change that we're going to give the community and the viewers. I appreciate you tremendously. I really do. And your daughters too. You know, Uncle Rhino's going to be here. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to keep giving it. So I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate everything you've done so far. And I know your quest for success is just beginning. You're just in the explosion phase, right? But you've gotten there with this drive. And I really, really, really can't wait to see who you're going to become this year alone. Thank you, Jay Kahee. Man, you are a true man of God, a true spirit of just graceful giving, and you give of yourself so much, and it's going to come back. Thank you so much for giving your story to our viewers here on Rhino Vision. Appreciate you, Jay, so much, my friend. Have a great night. Please give the family a big hug from us. And we'll see you very soon in February at the All In Convention, right?
I'll see you in a few weeks, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to give you a big Rhino hug, man. And you know, God bless you and your family as well, and all the people who are on live. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for people who are going to watch the replay. Thank you for the Exertis administration, from the CEO down to the new partner, man. You guys are all amazing. We have an amazing company. We serve an amazing God. Thank you very much, Rhino.
Absolutely, man. Have a great night. So, guys, what an amazing story tonight. Emotional, you know, what he went through as a child, going through, you know, being basically like adopted and coming out to where he's at, professional firefighter, EMT, MMA, right before that. But just goes to show you, if you have the right mindset and the personal development, where you can achieve your success and continue achieving success, which is where he's at right now. So, guys, I just want to give you the closing remarks and just let you know, listen, we appreciate every single one of you being on here. Share the channel. Every Friday, we'll be giving great stories like this. We don't know who it is that we need to reach out to, but we know we need to reach out to people. We need to be the hope, and that's our job. So, guys, remember, life is lived in your reactions, right? Life is lived in reactions. Thank you all, and we will see you the next Friday, same same Rhino channel, same Rhino time. Have a good night, you guys. Bye-bye. God bless.